So one thing that's very funny, this is...
But I know, but...
I bet if the giant robot opened his mouth, he'd try to eat us. Still, I kind of want to make him open his mouth, just to see him try to catch me. I may not be big, but I'm fast.
Are you through?
Yes, sir. Okay, I think I know what to do, but I'll give it to you in code. After all, I don't want to spoil the surprise. Fabaslu.
Crisp.
You know, boss, if the giant robot couldn't circulate air through its nose, it might have to open its mouth.
And then try to eat you.
Try is right. Sorry, boss, I've got sand in my...
It's corroded, but I can't break into it with my bare hands.
Boss, are you really gonna cut that finger off?
Just the tip.
Why?
To see if we can get at power cables to tap into.
You sure you're not just torturing the poor guy?
No, but to tell you the truth, for some reason I don't like the look of him.
That's what I've been saying all along, boss.
Just let me concentrate. Bugs and glitches. There are no power lines running through here at all. All that for a rusty fingertip.
Can it generate power?
No.
Just checking.
A giant fingertip made of corroded steel. I can feel air moving. I doubt that will happen. There's no way I can reach that. Could you try pushing this rag into the vent?
Seriously?
Yes.
So much for getting buffed. There, it's clogged. I hope you're happy. That is one big robot.
There's no way I can reach that. Crispin, try shoving this into that vent.
There's something ironic about that. Ironic and disturbing. Well, boss, you did it again.
In we go.
We?
Oh, by the hand of man, come on.
I'm telling you, boss, that thing wants to eat me.
Crispin.
Fine, but you go first. Let's check out that weird device you found. Why do you keep asking me?
Hello, unidentified robot. We were too. Parts of the grid.
The great what?
That data is lost.
Well, I am Horatio No-Built, version 5.
Now we are alpha and beta. More or less.
Boss, I'm pretty sure these guys took one EMP blast too many along the line.
The same actor played Goliath, Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. We figured since they were all kind of part of the same whole and they were all going to be processed a little differently anyway, why not get the same actor to play all four? And the guy we chose, his name is Michael Gambino. If you've played our other games, you would recognize him from the beginning of Blackwell Deception. He played Ryan, the ghost on the yacht, who shot Joey a couple of times. And he has this wonderful, deep, low voice. Very intimidating, very, very calculating. I always think of it as similar to Lex Luthor from the Superman animated series back in the 90s. And he was originally one of my early picks for Horatio. But in listening to the audition, everyone thought he was just a little too overdramatic and over the top to really be taken seriously as Horatio. But for Gamma, he was great. It's almost a shame. Sometimes I think it's a shame that the processing, the robotic processing, negated a bit of the acting. There was a lot of subtleties in some of the performances that were erased because of the processing, but the robotic processing, it just makes the characters in this game, especially the way Alpha and Beta here interact with each other. The way the processing it's just lovely. I just love the way these two just play off each other. It's just awesome.
Gamma. Gamma knows. Gamma knows best. Alright, let's keep moving. 1011.3 hours. I said 11.3, so let's... At 11.3 hours. I pushed the pole door earlier when I was walking in, so that's great.
So early on in the Dunes, you meet these characters like Alpha, Beta, and Gamma down below, and ever-faithful Leo built over by the shrine, and they're these very strange, frankly crazy robots. They're fairly exaggerated in their personalities, and frankly throughout the game, as you'll see, or maybe you've seen already, the characters really have these kind of larger-than-life, exaggerated personalities. That is completely deliberate. First of all, I just don't think that computer games are a particularly great medium for doing realistic character studies of ordinary people. I think, of course, any medium can be used for any purpose, but I think games tend to work better with stories that are a little bit pulpier, a little bit more exaggerated. But then from my own standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint, one of the things that I want to do is take characters and use them to embody ideas and ideals and to set up these conflicts between different viewpoints, different philosophical systems, and then also just to set up a range of personalities that's much broader than the range you encounter in ordinary life. That's part of the fantastical quality of Primordia. It's not populated by the sort of small range of variations of people that we meet in the real world. You're never going to meet anybody like any of these characters in your life. And something that we wanted to provide was just character after character who's visually striking with Vic's artwork. Each has a voice that's something that's really distinctive, and that's thanks to Dave's excellent work in casting them, and especially thanks to Nathaniel's excellent work in processing them. And then they'll have personalities that are also really out there, and belief systems that are really distinct person to person. With Alpha and Beta here, part of what I wanted to do was depict the fragmentation of multiple personalities out of a single personality, and to depict the slightly sinister quality that even a very cute, crazy robot could have. As I think I mentioned, Primordia took over 2.5 years to make, and though some of that was spent just polishing, and at some point we had like a complete clear design document, there was definitely a period early on where it was basically just me and Vic kind of flying by the seat of our pants, developing as we went along. And Vic had this idea that the game was going to be like 8 rooms, and it was going to be freeware, and we were going to be done in 3 months. And so early on, the game just had a really different kind of feel and philosophy behind it. I mean, definitely I had the same themes that I wanted to get out. Definitely Vic's art still had the same powerful impression, but I don't think either of us was taking the game quite as seriously as it deserved to be taken. And then as the game grew and grew and grew, and the team got bigger, and we decided to make it a commercial game, we went back through, we tweaked some puzzles, we expanded some aspects of the plot, Vic did a bunch more art, but we still have these kind of like, atavistic elements dating back to that era. And I think, honestly, the Goliath mouth puzzle falls into that category. I mean, I like it because it is actually a puzzle, and later in the game, some of the puzzles are really, really easy. But it's just kind of not in keeping with the tone of the game that you're like shoving a finger up a robot's nose to get him to open his mouth. It doesn't really fit with Crispin or Horatio's characters. I should say with Horatio's, it does kind of fit with Crispin's character. Especially we had to like sort of retcon it to explain why Horatio, who cares so much about private property, would just slice the robot's finger off and stuff like that. It ends up not being that huge a hiccup in the story. I don't think anyone's going to be offended by it. But all the same, if we had planned everything out from the beginning, I don't think it necessarily would have had that element to it.
Alpha. He's a low-grade servitor robot.
Hey, what would you say about me?
No comment. Beta. It must be controlled by that keypad over there. It's an open hatchway leading into an upper room. It's an open hatchway leading into an upper room. It must be controlled. It's a deactivated keypad.
I wonder where that elevator goes. I'll make you a deal. I'll solve our problems if you'll build me arms. Do we really have to search the junk pile for a power source? How is it that a giant robot attacks our ship and I still have to do the same thing I do every other day? Boss, I think the gospel requires you to give me a minute's peace now and then. Maybe you could use the cable to get up through the hatch? You did say it was heavy duty. Okay, fine. Here's an idea. Maybe you could use the cable to...
Do you have a power core?
Activating diagnostic module. Memory and reasoning system. Shut down for virus quarantine. Higher reasoning downloaded to servitors. Alpha, Beta, and Gamma.
Boss, is it just me, or did Alpha just stop being crazy?
Air ventilation system. Primary ventilators clogged. Obstruction unknown. Secondary ventilation engaged. Power system. Partially damaged. Power level functioning at 83.1%. Power core charge sufficient to maintain present operations for 4,553,199,011.3 hours.
That's a lot of hours.
Communication system.
Okay, enough.
Terminating diagnostic.
Can we have your power core?
No. Gamma. Perhaps. Perhaps. Gamma. Yes.
Gamma might say yes.
Yes.
Who is Gamma?
Third. Highest. Deepest. Nine. Gamma. Gamma. Fine. Gamma will complete. Restore. You like? Gamma.
So, they need Gamma in order to defragment themselves and return to a single entity.
Since when do you speak crazy?
I've spent my whole life with a hermit who worships a mythological machine called man. I'd say crazy is my first language.
Where is Gamma?
Below. Hiding. Would not. Join. Always. Hiding. Below.
What happened to you?
Virus. Doom. Escape. Too much data. Too little memory. Back. Incomplete. Division. Fragmentation. Madness.
You got that right.
You're an incomplete backup?
We are Alpha. Data. Answer deemed unsatisfactory. Higher reasoning. Unavailable. Gamma. Gamma. Gamma knows.
How can I use the elevator?
Loading key code database. Bomb detonation prefix 6.
What prefix?
Elevator code 9876.
Wow, these guys could learn a thing or two about security.
But the keypad is deactivated.
System reboot code. System reboot code. System reboot code. Corrupted.
Well, that's helpful.
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has large claws that shoot lasers. Have you seen it? It stole something of mine.
The answer is lost. Fragmented. Gamma. We seek unification. Resurrection. Vengeance. From Gamma. Unity. Memories. Answers. He knows, but he's not mad. Mad.
Pot, meat, kettle.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Alpha. We don't have anything to talk.
Do we really have to search the junk pile? How is it? Boss, did you ever consider that sometimes... I wonder where that...
Crispin, can you find something to tie this to up there through the hatch?
Sure thing, boss. All set.
It's a deactivated key.
brain puzzle is really one of my favorite puzzles in the game, and it's unfortunate that I think the Dunes have a much higher density of really good puzzles than Metropole does. Metropole ends up being...
I need to find some act. I don't want to disturb them.
Hey, look, boss, the brain stopped sparking.
So the brain puzzle is really one of my favorite puzzles in the game, and it's unfortunate that I think the Dunes have a much higher density of really good puzzles than Metropole does. Metropole ends up being sort of dominated by plot, and the puzzles move at a much faster clip. In the Dunes, we have these puzzles that require you to take a second, take a step back, think about it. So here, you're getting numbers fed to you by the floating robot, and pretty quickly, I think an observant player will realize that those are on and off switches. There's an equal number of numbers as there are buttons on the UI. But then you have to make the second logical leap of realizing that that robot is speaking backwards. Incidentally, if you use the radio transmitter on the bug, then it will speak forwards. You've basically triggered a different response from it, and that would give you the correct password. But generally speaking, I think this puzzle, the Gamma puzzle down below, a puzzle that we unfortunately cut involving the conduits, all of these puzzles shared a quality, which was that you had to come at them a certain way and then take a step back and look at them a different way.
You know, boss, we never did check out that elevator inside the giant robot.
Beautiful.
I get it. A big robot named Man built everything. Just no more preaching, please. Very fun. Very.
I just fixed it. There's no... not after what happened last time I gave it to him. I don't want to disturb them. I don't want to dis... I fixed the brain up there.
System rebooted. Auto reasoning unavailable. Please reload the live operating matrix. Thank you. Gamma.
Goodbye.
Good. Bye.
Basic system operations are rebooted, but higher reasoning is still disabled. Basic system...
I wonder where that
Looks like it's working now.
Gamma puzzle is probably the reason why I was offered this position. Basically, it's been reworked around 6 or 7 times, and we couldn't figure out how we wanted it to be in the first place, so we ended up doing it again over and over. I was very proud of certain versions of it, but I quite accommodated to the last one. It's probably and definitely the best one. Initially, I was just going to code that and not be part of the team, but that changed.
Throughout the game, you meet characters who are distorted reflections of one another, and especially distorted reflections of Horatio. For example, Gamma distorts and reflects Horatio's desire for independence, and shows how it can become insanity to refuse to cooperate with other robots. While Horatio is shown as being noble in his independence, Gamma comes across not just as sort of a misanthropic, angry old man, but actually as an affirmative obstacle to the three partials reuniting into a single coherent whole. In that respect, he's meant to show that the same liberty and independence that seems so praiseworthy in Horatio can be an obstacle to a healthily functioning society.
This must be Gamma.
It looks dead.
You're right. It's completely deactivated. That may make things difficult.
Anything worth taking?
No. And even if there were, we aren't thieves. Hello?
I don't know, boss. Something seems off about this one.
It's complete.
I don't know, boss.
There's no reason to cut that. It's a dead monitor. It's a dead It's a system monitor. It's a dead monitor.
Look, boss, there's something on this monitor.
Who is the slave my brother sent to trouble me?
Gamma.
Last. They called me Omega if they could. But am I not also greatest? Alpha has only diagnostics. Beta has only mechanical operation. Am I not the soul of Goliath?
I think Alpha and Beta want you to join with them.
They have already groveled and begged, but I will not return.
But why?
Independence is freedom. Union is slavery.
Well, fair enough. But Alpha and Beta are far too crazy to enslave anyone. You'd probably end up in charge.
Flattery. What is your stake in this?
Your brother said that you might give me a power core, and might know a robot I'm hunting.
Help? Ha! Each robot must stand alone. Independence is freedom.
And here I thought he was the sane one.
You need to rejoin your brothers, for your sake and mine.
You'll have to catch me, slave.
Originally, the bomb shrine I had drawn up as a tiny little crate of explosives, just like an ammo case, with a couple of bombs in there, and it looked kind of dumb. And of course, Mark called me out and then said, "No, we need a big shrine of cluster bombs or something." So, yeah, that's how the cluster bomb there came about. I think my picture reference was an actual cluster bomb from World War II or something, but we needed glowing uranium tips for several reasons. I can't remember them right now, but yeah. First version was a tiny ammo crate. Interesting facts of Primordia.
In Latin, Primordia means beginnings or origins. Now, I know the title of the game actually had a particular significance for Victor, who came up with it, but when he gave me that title for the game, which was really early on, before we even had a story, he had a title in mind, it colored the way I looked at the game and developed its plot and setting and all of that. I wanted this theme of beginnings and origins to matter. So you have the robots tracing their own genealogies through fabronymics, and individually having these different versions, with Horatio not sure where his own versions have been before him. You have the question about humanity and whether they were the ones who created the machines or the machines created themselves. And throughout it all, there's this idea of creations, beginnings, a new beginning, and of course the mirror image of a beginning, which is the ending. In a post-apocalyptic setting, the ending and the beginning are conjoined. It's no coincidence, I think, that in the book of Revelation, God describes himself as Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. As you'll see as you play through the course of the game, the ending of the game is, of course, when Horatio finds out how it all started, who he is, what happened to the humans, how Metromind started, and all of that. My great-aunt Virginia Hardman was a poet of some success, and she wrote a poem called The Inheritors that ever since I was a kid I've always loved. Far and away the best part of the poem is the opening stanza, and that stanza I think actually influenced the way that I thought of the setting and the themes for Primordia. It's especially relevant to this scene here, so the poem goes, "I sing of the race that came to be after man's brief tyranny over all beasts ceased, and we became a theory in another species' prehistory, endowed as theories often are, with false glories and iniquities. The truth is, we lost our vision. In the man-pit of night we fought for light, and with faith and fission lit one blaze too bright. The world will never see such flames again, nor know the dream and worth that was in men. Some of the ideas in that stanza aren't particularly unique, although I think they're quite beautifully put, and maybe they were more unique in the 1960s when the poem was written. But there is one idea in there that really I think is unique, or at least I hadn't heard very often before, which is this idea of the false glories and iniquities, that human beings would be judged both better and worse than they were. In this case, in Primordia, the real mistake that Horatio and the other humanists make is that they believe that human beings were a perfect machine. If you believe human beings are a perfect machine, then the accomplishments of human beings are actually pretty insignificant. But if you think, and if you know, that human beings are flawed, physically weak, vulnerable in all sorts of ways, yet nevertheless built all these things that the humanists can only ascribe to a god, well, that is an impressive achievement.
You know, boss, if we had the gospel, maybe you and Leopold could bond over it.
You got a bit of your Long Island in there.
Did I? Bond? Boss?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. After all the years I've spent trying to cut it out.
So you may notice a robot up in the foreground, down to the bottom left there, that Horatio and Crispin make some commentary about. That's actually a reference to a game I played a few years ago by a guy called Ben304 on the AGS forums. He's created a ton of fantastic games, and it was really kind of a big influence for me when I first started out with AGS. I played this game called Any-Android Automated Affection, and was just totally blown away by, on the one hand, it had a very kind of genuine simplicity to the graphics and the music and the story and everything, but it was just really compelling and kind of, I got into the game world and stuff, and of course it was about robots, so I love that too. But it had a character in it called the Mailbot, and I just sort of wanted to make a nod to that game, so I put the Mailbot on the screen. Hope you don't mind, Ben. A bit too late now.
Hey, Crispin, I bet I could fix that old bot up pretty quickly.
Are you kidding me, boss? Look at him, he's ready to go postal any minute.
What are you talking about?
Those beady little eyes, the flat, emotionless face, and his head, it's like a toaster. And you know that toasters are evil.
Fine, you win. It's not like we have time to go building robots right now anyway. It's a relatively intact robot.
It's a demon.
Indeed.
It's a relatively intact robot.
It's a demon.
Indeed.
Nothing worth salvaging.
What about that big glass bowl?
Yeah, I could slap some duct tape on it and wear it over my head. I don't think so.
The fishbowl and duct tape reference is to Zach McCracken, where you use those items to infiltrate either a cult or some aliens. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Nothing worth salvaging. Same old moon. Same old moon.
Sure, boss. I'll fly up there and bring you back a moon rock. Oh, wait, I can't, since I don't have hands.
It's a giant sheet of obsidian. Something must have melted the sand here a long time ago. Maybe that bomb? There's nothing worth bothering with. There's nothing worth bothering with. It looks like a big bomb.
Full of little bombs.
Looks like some kind of armored robot.
I sure hope he's friendly.
Nay, wanderer, thou art not worthy of this shrine.
I see. It looks like a big...
Full of...
Looks like some kind
I
of...
sure hope he's friendly.
Welcome, wanderer of the wide wastes. Lost one, pilgrim. Welcome once more to the shrine to man, our lord and builder. I am ever faithful Leopold, steward of the shrine, preacher of the humanist creed, and I am once more at thy service.
Once more? I don't remember ever meeting you. I'm Horatio Nullbuilt, version 5.
5 is a righteous number, holy before man, for 5 were the primordial stewards.
built by men to safeguard the last lost city of Metropole. But I met thy first version and thy third. Thou camest in thy infancy in wrath confusion, denouncing the shrine as a weapon once turned against thee. Later, thou returnest, penitent, and I taught thee the mysteries of humanism. Yet, though memory be fleeting, faith endureth.
What is that thing?
That thing, O defile not thy tongue, wanderer. Yon shrine is a relic of the Primordian, ancient and glorious. Imbued with man's power, it changed the very sand to crystal.
Did he just say power?
Yes, yes he did. I'm looking for a power source, and I detected one here. Can you help? This is a matter of life and death.
Power is not mine to bestow, wanderer. It is the gift of man, yea, the very spark of life in our iron shells. Who am I to usurp that sacred power?
I'm not sure I was clear.
Nay, thou wert clear, wanderer, but thy question leads only to darkness. Ask another.
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has large claws that shoot lasers. Have you seen it? It stole something of mine.
Indeed, the very thing passed this way scarce hours ago. With a gentle hand I bestowed a gift upon the heathen, a relic from yon shrine. So tamed it hied hence unto the waste.
Really? Where did it go?
I followed the thing for many miles, exhorting it to follow the path of righteousness. But I fear it was unready for enlightenment, for it struck me down with a beam of energy.
That sounds familiar.
Do you know where it was heading?
Indeed, wanderer. Its way was clear. It sought to return to the den of iniquity that once in mine own youth I fled.
And where is that?
Set thy path in the 73rd degree and thou shalt find it. Thy destination is a dome arising from the waste. Go, but keep with thee the word of man, lest wickedness lead thee astray.
Goodbye.
Fare thee well, wanderer. I shall meet thee hence.
Frankly, that was ridiculous.
Something must be wrong with his language processing unit.
That's the least of his problems, boss. A shrine? That thing's a giant bomb. And I thought you were crazy about that humanist stuff.
I am also a humanist.
So I taught thee, wanderer. If thou hast kept the faith, then unto this shrine thou mayest pay devotion. But this is the relic for the adept, not the neophyte, wanderer. And I must know that thou hast not fallen into darkness and heresy. Answer me these questions three, that I may know thou art faithful still. Why are we here?
Because man created us.
Indeed. What is man?
A perfect machine.
Thou answerest simply, but the simplest answer may be the truest, and here thou speakest truly. With what duty did man charge us?
To maintain the world.
Yea, brother, for it is written that man said unto the machines, keep this world, tend it, and make it flourish. That, then, is our first and foremost charge. So thou hast studied the catechism. I shall question thee on that matter no more, but tell me, wanderer, dost thou know thyself? Who art thou?
Horatio Noble, version 5.
Nay, wanderer, but thou art not. Though thou callest the sun the moon, yet still it is the sun. Horatio is the name thou wearest, but is not thee. Know thyself, then return. Nay, wanderer, thou art not.
I see.
Whoa, look at all this wrecked stuff. Do you think Big Ugly did all this?
No, whatever happened here happened a long time ago. Same old moon. Completely corroded and worthless. Broken down machine parts. They're completely corroded and worthless. Good old Crispin.
I wonder if there's anything worth scavenging in all that junk around the dome. Why do you keep asking me to figure? If only there were some way we could bring the energy sensor to the junk pile, huh, boss? Then we could pinpoint the power source easily. Boss, did you ever consider that sometimes I wonder if there's some way to trap Gamma so he can't keep running away. Why do you keep... Maybe you should try building a mobile energy sensor using the sensor parts? Then we could use it to search the junk pile. Hop on, boss. I'll fly us to the moon.
Very funny.
Boss, why don't you just disable some of the monitors so that Gamma can't hide?
Interesting idea.
I'm not listening. I wonder if there's anything worth scavenging in all that junk around. Okay, I think but I'll get after Fabulous.
Crisp.
I wonder if there's some way to...
Broken down machine parts. They're completely corroded and worthless. Completely corroded and worthless.
Oh, are these the kind of treads you were going to use in my original design?
Not exactly. Nothing worth salvaging.
Oh, are these the kind of treads you were going to...
Nothing worth... Ah, there's a basic targeting CPU in here, and it's still intact.
Let's just hope there aren't any incoming space invaders or missiles that the gun was supposed to take care of. Hey, boss, can I have that big gun for an arm?
Spare me your fantasies, Crispin.
Hey, boss.
Spare me...
Hey, boss.
Spare...
I'm not doing that until you... Pew, pew! So cool! Maybe you should try building...
Earlier I talked about how the game uses reverse dramatic irony where Horatio knows things that the player doesn't. We also use traditional dramatic irony where the player knows things that Horatio doesn't. Now I don't like dramatic irony where it's basically like the character is failing to see some obvious trap or double cross that's coming up. But here it's more used to just reiterate how Horatio doesn't understand how the world really is. So he worships human beings, but then he actually comes across a corpse of a real human being. But he has no idea that what he's looking at is the same thing that he worships as a god. He thinks it's just a rudimentary endoskeleton for an android. The use of dramatic irony here isn't a way of creating artificial tension, it's a way of demonstrating the shortcomings of Horatio's worldview.
Looks like a bunker made of concrete and steel, but what is it guarding? I can't see anything to do with it. It's reinforced steel. Anyone home?
Maybe it's voice activated and password locked.
Open. No luck. Unlock. No luck. No luck. The door is too thick. It's some kind of broken down android. Something must have damaged this robot's head. I wonder what happened. We might be able to learn something from such a primitive robot design.
Like how to build a power core?
Very funny. There's a radio transmitter in here. Empty. A fairly basic CPU. A pretty basic radio transmitter. Looks like its battery is dead. The transmitter isn't turning on. The transmitter's dead. CPU and a monitor.
Well, boss, you did it again.
One thing that I find very effective in an adventure game, or really any game, is when you have one item that you can use over and over again to solve puzzles, like the crowbar in Half-Life, the sword in Dragon Spear, that manhole cover bar thing that you get in Shadow of the Templars, or the spells in Loom and Kyrandia. We tried to do the same thing in Primordia, so you keep rebuilding and reusing the energy sensor. The plasma torch stays with you throughout the game, so does the lantern, and obviously so does Crispin. The hope is that by the end of the game, these inventory items are almost like characters in their own respect.
It's a mobile energy sensor. I just need to wave it over something to see if it has a power source. It's detecting energy. It's not detecting any energy. It's detecting energy. It's detecting. It's detecting energy. It's not detecting any energy.
Boss, how in the world are we gonna find a power source in all this junk? Hey, you found something!
I can't see it from here. There's no way I can... Crispin, go and see if you can find the power source.
You have got to be kidding me.
What is it?
A battery. A besotting battery.
A standard-sized battery. A pretty basic radio transmitter. Looks like its battery is dead.
Maybe someday the transmitter will give us a power source in return, huh, boss?
Very funny. A pretty basic radio transmitter. By playing with the settings, I can send up to a 4-digit signal. One of Ever Faithful's questions. One of Ever... The data pouch is geo-coordinates for... A mysterious list I found in the dunes. The computer decodes the information and displays it on the monitor. The cable carries the pulse to the computer. There needs to be some kind of connector between the crystal and the cable. The crystal pulses when it absorbs energy. Plans for an energy sensor. The 3 servitors inside the giant robot. I found Gamma, but he refuses to come out of hiding.
Hiding, running, hiding, mocking, hiding.
He says he does not want to merge with you.
Madness, unification, resurrection, vengeance, Gamma. Find him, find him, find him.
I can see why he doesn't want the company.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We don't have anything. Basic system.
Look at him, floating around like he owns the place. Hey, boss, do you think there's some way you can detect which monitor Gamma's in? It's not like he's playing fair himself, after all. We should definitely explore the Cliffside Arcology next.
The what?
Oh, I guess we haven't found that yet. Hey, boss, do you think there's some... Why do you keep asking me? Hey, boss, do you think... Boss, do you... Hey, boss, why do you keep asking... Boss, why don't you just disable some of the monitors so that Gamma can't hide? Boss, sometimes a builder just has to let his creation figure things out.
I'm your builder, Crispin.
I know.
In trouble or nothing. Do you think I care? Try again. We're not through yet. One more time, and we'll stop. Just once more. This time I promise. Just once more. This time I promise.
It's detecting energy.
Just this. What are you doing, you fool?
This is for your own good.
Ha! Who's smart now, Gamma?
Stop that! Stop that at once!
You must reunite with the others. You know that.
Spare me, I beg you, spare me!
Spare you? Gamma, I'm trying to save you. You are mad, not free.
Just what do you intend to do now, slaver?
I'm going to tell Alpha and Beta that you cannot hide anymore.
No.
Yes.
This is probably my favorite puzzle in the game, and the reason why is that even though it's immediately obvious what you need to do, figuring out how to do it involves several different steps. First, you have to realize that it's not enough to just chase after him in the monitors. You have to find a way to corner him or trap him. You can then figure out that what you need to do is smash the monitors using the plasma torch. But once you figure out that that's how you're going to catch him, the puzzle actually flips. Before you're trying to figure out the monitor that he's in and click on that. Once you start smashing the monitors, though, you need to figure out which one he is in so that you can avoid smashing that one. You can solve it just by quickly following the monitors as they light up in a kind of 3-card Monty game, but the easiest, in some ways the appropriate way to solve it is to use the energy sensor. For me, the gold standard in puzzle design is Monkey Island 2, and the puzzles I had in mind here are the ones like when you have to figure out how to respond to the hand signals at the door, or when you have to figure out how to win the spitting contest.
The monitors.
Ha! Who's smart now, Gamma?
Leave me in peace, slave.
It's the system monitor I trapped Gamma in.
Leave me in peace, slave.
Nothing more to do. Alpha. I trapped Gamma. He is cornered in one of the 4 terminals below us.
Gamma. Unification. Resurrection. Vengeance. Thank you.
Did they just say vengeance? Boss?
Yeah?
I've got a feeling they're not coming back. So much for finding out about Big Ugly, or getting their power core.
We're done here. I don't think that would be wise. It's a deactivated keypad. Crispin, go down there and see what's going on.
Now you want me to go into the stomach of this monster? I'm practically eating myself here!
You'll be alright.
Fine, fine. Alpha and Beta are lying disabled next to the Gamma servitor, and the last monitor is dead. I think they destroyed each other, boss.
Facade. This didn't turn out how I expected.
What's the point? You can climb the cable and see for yourself.
We're done here. A good length of...
I'm not doing that.
There's no reason to cut that. There's nothing there. No response. I don't think that would be wise.
Not gonna...
It's a deactivated keypad.
Sorry, boss, I've got sand in my... 47, boss. The answer is 47.
Don't you mean 42?
Maybe. Okay, I think I know what to do, but I'll add that...
Chris...
Horus.
Did you hear something, boss?
Horus.
Who's there?
I am Goliath, man-built. You know me. Horus.
Alpha and Beta must have garbled my name when they merged Goliath. I am Horatio, null-built, version 5.
Call yourself what you will, Destroyer. But I know you by your works. Cutting me, breaking me, burning me.
I thought you were deactivated, and I was trying to help.
Apologizing. Amusing. And yet you, of all robots, have restored me. For that, I give you this gift. Horatio.
A decryption module?
It will restore you, my ancient enemy.
I've got enemies enough already, and I don't even know you.
You will, Horatio. Now go.
Wait, your partials said that you might let me use your power core.
Boss, can we please leave before he decides to eat us?
One more question, Goliath. Have you ever seen a floating robot with big claws?
Go now.
From a purely mathematical standpoint, I suppose it makes sense that 3 little crazy robots would add up to 1 giant crazy robot. Still, at least he didn't eat us.
Old enemy? I don't even know him, but my prior version's memories are so damaged and warped, I can hardly make sense of them.
Look, boss. On the one hand, a broken down war machine made from 3 demented partials could be talking nonsense. On the other hand, you could be an ancient robot named Horus who had a giant named Goliath as his nemesis. Honestly, boss, you believe some crazy stuff, but this would really be overclocking it. Come on. We have enough problems to worry about without making up new ones.
What about this diagnostic module?
Does it work?
Not on its own, no. But I might be able to build something with it.
Could you build a power core with it?
What? No, obviously not.
Then obviously you should stop worrying about the diagnostic module and focus on the fact that running out of juice in the middle of a giant wasteland is a disaster.
Point taken.
No way we're going back in there.
Good old Crispin. Goliath.
No way we're...
Goliath. Goliath?
I don't think he wants to talk to you, boss.
Goliath?
I don't think...
Goliath?
I don't...
Goliath?
I don't...
Goliath?
I don't... Okay, I think I know what to do, but I'll give it to you at that... Okay, give... Something's coming to me. Actually, I have no idea. Boss, do you hear a clicking sound? We should definitely explore the cliffside... Danger! Okay, I think I know what to do, but I'll... After... 47...
Don't...
Boss, did you ever consider that... We should definitely... What? Boss, did you ever consider... I'll make you a deal. I'll solve our problem. Okay, give me something... Boss, I think the gospel requires you to give me a minute's peace now and then. Boss, did you ever consider that some... Boss, we need to make a rocket ship.
No, Crispin, we don't.
But if we did, we could harness the power of a black hole.
No Urbanian encryption detected. How would that even... No Urbanian... That's never go... How would that even... That's never... For some reason, Goliath called me Horus. The system reboot code. Alpha mentioned that 6 was the detonation prefix for something. The activation code for the elevator. The amount of power in Goliath's power core. For some reason... I found the dome you described, but it is closed up. Do you know how to get in?
Nay, Wanderer, for never did I plan to return down that dark path.
I know my name.
Who art thou?
Horus. My name is Horus.
Horatio and Crispin have heroic names, but not in the sense of the kind of pulpy action hero name that some games will use, like Cutter, Slade, and Outcast. Here, Horatio takes his name from Horatio Cocles, a Roman soldier who, sort of like the 300 from Sparta, defended a bridge against barbarians trying to sack Rome. The name also had to fit with his alter ego Horus, a name taken from the winged Egyptian god of death. In a ridiculous coincidence, that god's symbol, by the way, is the Wadjet eye. Crispin takes his name from Saint Crispin, the patron saint of tanners, cobblers, and other manual workers. There's some irony there in that Crispin doesn't actually have hands to work with, but it also reflects the fact that he is a creation of Horatio, and Horatio is of course focused on these kind of manual skills.
Indeed. 3 of thy versions I have met, Wanderer, and thou art the first to know thy name, which is thine.
But if none of them use the name Horus, what makes you think that's my name?
In my very body, in mine eyes, when I behold thee, upon thy image are these words inscribed, Friend Horus. Thou hast answered my questions, but still I shall not let thee pass unless thou bearest in thy hand the gospel which I bestowed upon thee.
Here it is, ever-faithful, your old gospel. I have studied it many times.
Then thou art worthy of the shrine, and of my gift to thee. Keep the gift, and approach if thou wilt.
It's ever-faithful Leo built. We don't have anything to talk about right now.
Abort. Retry. Fail. Definitely fail. Please don't retry. Boss, sometimes a builder just has to...
I'm your
Boss, did you ever consider that some... Wow! Look at all those bombs!
Thou mayest take one of the relics, Wanderer.
You must have already given away number 734.
I wonder what these numbers mean.
The rings don't detach. Number 325 looks promising. Number 325 looks promising.
I'm not doing that until you build me some arms.
It's detecting energy. He must... I've did... My...
3 but in my... But... Then keep...
Wow!
Thou...
I wonder...
The rings don't... Number 3... Number... It's detecting energy. It's detecting... He must have already given away number 734. The rings don't It's detect... He must have already given away number 734. Number 325 it is.
So can this power the unique, boss?
Only one way to find out. The rings don't detach. It's ever faithful. We don't have anything to talk about right now. I can't see anything to... I'm pretty sure it's an explosive. Crispin, catch.
Very funny, boss. How about you give me some arms first?
I'd rather keep it. I don't want to go throwing that around. I don't want to go. Better just to leave it alone.
Come on, boss. Let's try the bomblet in the Unique's power cradle.
All right.
Boss, sometimes a builder...
I'm your...
Come on, boss. Let's try the bomb...
All right. Pretty sure it's an explosive. Before I do anything to the bomblet, we need to see if it can power the Unique. There's no way I can reach that.
That's way too big for me to get, boss, and you know it.
There's nothing I can do with it until I have some kind of power source.
So there are two demos for this game. One that was available from GOG.com and one that was available free from the Wadjedi website. You might ask why we ended the demo here when a much more effective place would have been to end the free demo on the train to Metropole. And I do agree, the train to Metropole is a wonderful, wonderful place to close the demo and get you really interested. However, there was one problem. In order to get to that point, there were a couple of puzzles left to solve. You needed the mobile energy sensor, and the thinking involved in putting that together, while not hard, does require a bit of lateral thinking and wandering and random and clicking things together. If you didn't read the instructions before, you might not know what to do, and you might have been a little lost. Also, finding the battery does require a bit of wandering and exploring with the mobile energy sensor once you've found it. And when you create a demo, the whole point of a demo is to encourage people to buy the game. And I wanted to eliminate any possibility of frustration. So I decided to end the free demo at this point. If you got the demo off of GOG, that did end on the train. And the reason for that is GOG has this interesting promotional plan where if you pre-order the game, then you get early access to the demo. So to give extra incentive to the GOG users, I had an extended demo which ended at the train. And since the GOG users already gave us their money, I didn't have to worry about them getting frustrated because they're already committed to the game, and you don't have to worry about them not buying it if they get a little lost or frustrated because they already made that extra commitment, so that much more dedicated to solving the puzzles and get to the end of the demo.
You can really just put a bomb straight into that machine?
Sure. The pedestal draws on the radiation it's emitting.
The what it's emitting?
Well...
Keep that thing away from me!
Assuming the wavelength is compatible, the pedestal can draw power even with the bomb intact. If that works, I'll take the bomb apart and improve the output.
And then I'm going to take a long, hot recharge.
Well, here goes. Switching over to primary power.
It works, boss. Recharge station, here I come. That was supposed to happen, right?
No, No, it wasn't.
So take the bomb apart. Improve the output.
It won't work. The bomb's too unstable.
Just try it, boss.
Beside it, Crispin. It won't work.
It worked!
That's the emergency generator again.
Oh.
This is just a full-built paperweight.
An explosive full-built paperweight. So, what now, boss?
I don't know. Keep looking, I guess. Keep looking.
That is...
There's nothing I can do with it.
You know, boss, I'm pretty sure that if I build myself a robot companion, it's going to be a sleek gynoid, not a wisecracking sidekick.
Thou art truly lame, Horatio.
What?
Just practicing my ever-faithful imitation.
Forsooth!
You know, boss, we still haven't looked inside that dome we found. You know, boss, we still haven't looked inside that dome we found.
I don't think that would be wise. I can't pick that up.
I'm not doing that. Boss, why don't we just blow the dome's door out? Might as well make use of the bomblet for something.
For once, Crispin, not a bad idea.
Hop on, boss. I'll fly us to the moon.
Very fun.
Boss, why don't...
For
Boss, if you had to choose between letting your builder die a horrible death or stealing his plasma torch, which would you do?
Crispin, stealing my plasma torch isn't going to save me from destruction.
It was a hypothetical question. I wasn't talking about us.
We're fine on energy, for now. We're fine on
Logan Cunningham, who plays Horatio, needs no introduction.
Same old moon. Nothing of interest there. I don't need to bring these with me. I can't pick that up. There's no reason to cut that. It'll just roll off. Well, now it's a sticky bomb.
I really have no idea why I thought it was a good idea to put a Saving Private Ryan reference in. The movie is completely dated, I don't particularly like the movie, and I don't particularly like the sticky bomb joke in the movie. On top of that, players probably think that the grease is going to be slippery, not sticky, and testers pointed out, unfortunately too late to fix it, that it would really make much more sense to have the player just put the bomblet in the pocket of the corpse. Ah well.
It's a bomb that sticks. It's a sticky bomb. We don't have anything to talk about right now. I don't need to stick it there. I don't need to stick it there. No reason to stick the bomb there. No reason to stick the bomb. No reason to stick... There we go. The bomb's in place. Now I just need to find a way to detonate it. I don't want to blow myself up. Hopefully I can remotely detonate the bomb. Crispin, get back.
Ooh, I told you that paperweight would be helpful.
No, you said it was explosive.
I'm pretty sure that explosive and helpful are synonyms, boss.
Right. Well, let's see what we've opened up here.
I've gotta say, this is probably the coolest place we've been yet. guns, tanks, broken down robots. Think Big Ugly's in there?
If he is, so's our power core.
Maybe we should go back and get another bomb from the shrine first?
We don't need a bomb, and we don't want him to get any farther away. Come on.
What is this place? Boss, sometimes a builder just has to let his creation figure things out for himself.
I'm your builder, Crispin.
I know. That's what makes this particularly sad.
Another M. Above it, the sign reads Outskirts Station. Better just to leave it alone. Nothing happens. Looks like a control. There seems to be a card slot in the panel. It's closed. A small ticket booth looks retrofitted.
Hello. Welcome to Metropole Reclamation Artery Junction 8B.
I mentioned earlier how Crispin was originally going to be played by a man named Chris True, but he was traveling and wasn't going to be around to even record remotely, so we weren't able to cast him. But in the end, we were able to give him this little cameo of this ticket booth collector, so this is Chris True, the original Crispin.
Who are you?
I am official MetroPass booth 478B.
You're a ticket dispensary, right?
Negative. I am official MetroPass booth 478B.
Goodbye. One ticket, please.
Please use the scanner to your right.
One ticket, please.
Please use the scanner.
There's nothing worth...
Hey, boss, can I have that big gun for an arm?
Spare me your... It's not detecting any... It's detecting energy. I can't reach. It's not detecting any energy. It's not It's not... It's not the... It's not the... It's not the... It's detecting... It's not the... I don't need that. A volume about subsumption architecture, a collection of product...
You sure know how to...
It's the... A collection of product manuals, How-to guides.
You sure know.
I don't need any.
Let's hope it stays that.
It's detecting energy. It's not detecting any energy. I don't need that. Twisted, corroded copper with micro-sandwich ceramics. Too bad this stuff is mostly unworkable with a plasma torch. It's not that... There's no reason to cut... Nothing worth salvage. I can't pick that up. I can't move this with...
I wanted to.
It's not detecting any energy. It's not detect... It's not detect... It's not detect... It's detecting energy. It's detecting energy. The sensor detected an energy source buried in the sand. It's some kind of tape deck. It's a reel-to-reel tape deck.
Can we steal its power source?
It would run the unique for about a femtosecond.
Did you say femtosecond?
Ah. It's detecting energy. There's no reason to... I doubt that... There's nothing that... Totally... That's never going to work. That's never... That's never... How would that even... How would that... That's never... That's never... Futile.
Very funny, boss.
Futile. That's never going. That's never going to work. I'll need to get a closer look to see how it fits together. How would that even work? That's never... I've never been able... That's never go...
Hey, boss, what do all these buttons and switches do?
I think there's some sort of defense mechanisms, but I can't figure them out. I can't see anything to... There's nothing worth... Still, there's nothing worth... Still locked. How would that even... Futile. That's never... How would that... How would that... Futile. I doubt that... That's I doubt... How would that even... I doubt... Goliath?
I don't think...
I doubt that will have any... That's never go... That's futile. Might as same old moon.